Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming y'all back to another episode of Disco Elysium. My god, the last episode was definitely something. We're walking back to the source of my ire. Kuno, and this lady that I did not catch her name because I suck, but my god, these children are something else. They really are something else. I don't know what is her deal. Maybe she also came from a bad upbringing, but this boy, oh, he definitely came from a bad family. Baconator, damn, like a very bad family. And I suppose him acting out is his way of escaping reality. Hence why he talks to himself in third person. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. Maybe we'll figure out his issue someday. Right now, let's see what we're doing. This is the logo of the municipality of Revachol. I think you're talking about this thing that I highlighted.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags."
Why am I looking at you, trash compactor? Container, you're just a trash container.
Just a trash container. There is no such thing.
Wait, he's talking to inanimate objects too? Are you see? Oh my god. This omniscient this dungeon master is voicing everything. I can't believe it.
Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock.
So how do we get that lock open?
We could try using a pry bar. The one you took from my motor carriage, or
Yes, Lieutenant?
we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea.
You know, that's actually perfectly true. I would rather talk to the man first. But first, let's really see what we can scrounge up here. We got some, looks like footsteps. There we go.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Well, let's get an exact count. See how many people have traced around this crime scene. What happened?
What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
I see. Yeah, I have to move fast there. Damn, Jesus. Okay, so let's not do that. Clearly that was not a good idea. Really? I failed? Ugh. It was literally 50-50. I just needed a 6 or higher. Well, more than 50, and I lost it. Whatever. Alright, what kind of boots?
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails all over the yard.
Reinforced toe and hobnail boots. Definitely sound like dock workers.
Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Lieutenant, workers' boot tracks.
Noted.
Well, we can get this later, because we need more, but, whatever. So, it's definitely workers' boots tracks. So, it could be a group thing. It definitely could be a group murder. We got some things that we can look around here. No, stop it. Oh. This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Glad you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vartna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, Eternite. Sadly, the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect.
Oh god, it's basically asbestos, huh? Oh dear, the man created asbestos. Well, yeah, remind me not to stay near this. That said, I do have to say this, though, real quick. My friend, Abrasive Music, He said that I am learning more about the backstory than he has ever learned. He didn't get much of the backstory, and here I am getting all this encyclopedic backstory knowledge because of my build. So it's like, I know more about Revachol and its past than I do the game right now. It's like, damn. Alright, let's look inside.
Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
That's good, I finally got something in my favor, jeez. Okay, good. Let's pull the panels aside then.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Definitely. Let's do. I enjoy this right now. Can I search this? I cannot. I had to go on the other side, but that's cool. Jeez. Before I do that... No, actually... You know, the more that I figure out now, before... Oh, you know what? There could be something good hidden in there. God dang it. Okay. I shall... You know, I will go back and ask Gart for the key, and maybe we can get some more information. Because we did learn a couple of new things. Yes, yes, yes. Go inside before you start blaring in my ear. Jeez. Oh, well, we're gonna... There we go. I'm trying to avoid another, like, copyright infringement thing, or whatever it is. A copyright strike, not infringement. Anyway, hey, Gart, I got a question for you.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
Fair.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
Callous? Huh, well, I do wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
Doesn't it seem, you know, just a little callous to you? Guarding even your leftovers from the poor?
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
The 9-day government or the 11-day government? I'm confused there. I was like, wait, am I reading the same thing? Where he headed the some amount of day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism. I guess it's the idea of science, the betterment of mankind through science should be shared with everyone, I guess. Huh. Tell me more.
He killed himself.
Oh. Well, maybe I am this Krasmazov?
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
No, wait. What if I am Krasmazov?
We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This was about the trash container.
Alright, Kim. You're right, I'm sorry. Anyway, Gar, we would like those keys, please.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
Nationalize my trash con-
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Of course, we will. I've seen something here at the Whirling Gart. A thing I need to talk about.
What thing?
I noticed that there's a sign saying the mess hall is reserved for the Union.
Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
He tosses his head in disdain.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
You're right. How do we go about finding them?
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
Of course, but Gart also said they came at night, my dear vocal voice head entity. So maybe we could just, meander around, wait for dinner time. You never know. Anyway, Gart, I also saw a sign that said I couldn't go into the kitchen. Any reason why I can't?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
Fair, but there may be something important to the investigation in that kitchen.
He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with...
He changes his mind.
Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must.
He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. Alright, well, thank you for your cooperation on that.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Sure.
Another thing.
Oh, no, there isn't. No, I lied. Okay, cool. So I can come back to him. He's annoyed, but he seems cooperative. Surprisingly so, despite being an annoyed, little thing. So, but that, I'll take it. No, I wanted to check my... Okay, whatever. Wait, I saw that. I can sleep after 21... I can sleep after 9 p.m.? Okay, that makes some amount of sense. Yeah, please shut that thing up. Open the trash container, which I can do now. Find out who was in the Union box. Yeah, that'll take a little while to figure it out. Officer profile incomplete. Locate halogen watermarks. RCM. How do I get out of this? There we go. So, let's go ahead and open this wonderful trash container, see if we luck out on anything.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
What are you talking about?
Just the feeling. A warning from some part of you.
Another time, maybe,
No,
then.
we need to investigate now.
Just like that, he opens the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Ooh, for over a week. Oh. So some of this trash could be from before and after the murder. Let's pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Huh. Interesting.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
What?
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought there was a dead body in there. Oh, God, Kim, you are a brave man. I would not be smelling A, clothes that came straight out of the garbage, and B, clothes that potentially came from a decaying body. Ooh, boy, Kim.
Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Let's get it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Ooh. Let's bag that shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
A shirt worn over light armor. Didn't this body have like some kind of armor-esque stuff? I had to see it later, but did it?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
Thrown mug, a thrown out towel, a mug. That's it.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the Whirling might have been involved somehow?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
And I know you suggest against going against the, the kids, but we do need to ask them who put the stuff here.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
Alright, Kim, fine. Let's go.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Let me look under the boxes of carton.
You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Let's dive further then.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Then how about the food waste?
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Ooh, looks out of place from a food waste area.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
A ledger?
Officer, is that your paperwork?
No, it can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form.
A miserable-looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
I honestly don't know. Maybe I didn't want to be a cop anymore and I threw it away?
Well, lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
Wait, did I actually find my ID? I did not expect to find it. The mug. I'm also getting that mug.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
Oh, God. An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
An oddly racist depiction of an Asian person Oh my god. I feel so attacked right now. In racist terms, I am the yellow man. Wow, this game is doing a great job attacking me. I should feel honored. God dang it. Let's take it.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Sure.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
Oh, that's cool.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
I think so, yes. What is this?
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
My couple type? There are couple types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
I don't know. Weapon cop?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
Huh? You know what? I'm not sorry. Okay, I'm not a sorry cop. I changed my mind.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
No, I'm really not sorry. Okay, no, screw it.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then.
I don't know what that means, but I will take that. We can interact with some stuff. How do I interact? Oh, okay, I can just do that. With a paragraph? Really? This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the Whirling in Rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Samaran descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers. Buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
Actually, there's quite a lot to read into here. Let's look at all that content, shall we?
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
Well, for starters, this is an example of prejudice. Clear and simple. I'm going to be using it as an example of what not to do in the future.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Ugh, fine, you dingus. Ugh. Anyway, this damaged ledger is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes on the case?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Okay. Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us.
Let's inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely taking it off. It cramps my style.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Oh, God. God, that's so terrible. Let's inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the halogen watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Oh, interesting. Do you know how I can read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Huh. You know, I do recall you mentioning the headlights of your Kinema when we first brought up halogen watermarks.
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Ooh, that's cool. Do you know what kind of information would usually be put on these?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Thanks, Kim. Really, thanks a lot.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
100 pages? What's in there? What were they all about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
Well... Huh. Isn't 2 is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Huh. To be fair, looking at this, it looks like 2 cases a week was my average load. Not sure if I completed any of them, though, to be honest.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
No, you're perfectly fine. I've definitely burned myself out with all this.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
So you mentioned kind of naming convention. I think you called it odd.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh. Cool. And they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
Well, my character seems to take a lot of inspiration on, like, crime fiction, because it's like all those like the next world mural, the square bullet hole unsolved. It's like very like mystery-esque titles. No wonder they call no wonder the people at the office called him Dick Mullen. I can see why they call him Dick Mullen now.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Huh. Kim, I noticed my cases seem to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one. With titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I suppose that's fair. Though I do notice an interesting case name here. The Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
Okay, you know what? In all fairness, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I can only imagine the crap that police officers have to deal with when they go to crime scenes. And, in Kim's defense, I do get it. You have to find ways to separate yourself from that reality so it doesn't bog you down. Especially when it's one of those worst cases that, and I've heard, my friend, Abrasive Music, I'll just say this. He does work as an EMT. So he has mentioned that sometimes you have to distance yourself from what's happening. It's simply because if you don't, you can get overwhelmed and it's just like, oh, why am I doing, so I get it. It seems cold to name it the man with a hole in his head, but you gotta find ways to distance yourself from the reality, even if for the sake of the investigation or for your own sanity. What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Ow! Rail spiked through the... Ew. Huh. I have to open an official case. Is there any room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Alright then, let's commit it to paper. Oh, that's cool. I thought that pen was only for selling. Wow, okay. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, actually. Let's make use of this ledger and pen.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Okay. Let's go ahead and cross out the ones I've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you happened to name our case by any chance?
No, actually. Any ideas?
Well, let's see. Well, how about something, maybe a little bit whimsical, just to, keep our head in the game. The Setting Sun.
Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so... Something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Well, if we're going for more concrete, we could always go with the Hanged Man. It's innocuous enough, wouldn't you say?
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Alright, well, good to know.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Oh, God. Let's do everything before we read this.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What type of forms are on here?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Oh, so basically like what a field officer would do when they write you a ticket. They find a correct thing, write it down, rip it up, well, rip it off, and then hand it to you. Okay, that makes sense.
You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Wait, is this how I get money? I fine people for misconduct? Wait, really? Is this how I earn money? Being a dirty cop.
But they appear pleasantly vague.
Oh. So... I can extort people for 1,000 real through vague severities of misconduct. Oh my god. I think this is a good way to earn money. Oh boy, I'm devious. Station call.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Ah, one of those, yes.
All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
In small print, so it's like a contract. Here you go, make sure you come. Okay, don't come. And you're arrested. Wait, it didn't say that yet. Here's a magnifying glass. Read the fine print at the very bottom that you can only see with this magnifying glass. That's like entrapment, but then again, aren't contracts that have small print like that just some form of entrapment that people can't read or don't read? Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Condition of internal organs? Oh, God. Okay, well, you know what? That's enough of that. That's enough.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Let's look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
That's an interesting description. Hard enough to beat someone into submission with. If I've lost my gun and all I have left is this ledger, you better believe I'm knocking you upside the head and arresting you on the spot. Officer, how did you arrest this man? With my handy-dandy ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
Oh. Well, you don't say. Let's have a good look.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
Ugh. How am I supposed to open it then?
With your hands, you four-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Lonesome long way home. Oh, because I'm still doing that. Smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Ah. Thanks, Nose. Since you know everything, do you know which toilet that would be?
Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
And is sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. A line from this very poet.
Why, yes it is. Among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
Well, yay. Well, can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
HBD 41. I am from Precinct 41. Followed by the time of arrival, a date of initialization. December 1st. So, oh god, Precinct 41 at 12:01. No, sorry, at December 1st, 5 o'clock. So, weren't those Officer Precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
Okay. And the HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Oh. Okay. Are you sure? I mean, I'm just not feeling it, to be honest.
Feeling isn't really the jurisdiction we're in right now.
Alright, well, just to say, you did call me Harry earlier. I thought it was just a little sarcasm, but maybe you just threw me a bone here. Maybe my name is Harry. If you're saying that these are my initials, what's stopping you to say H does not stand for Harry? Anyway, how long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I can revisit this later, okay? Actually, I need to end this episode. I probably chopped this in half, to be perfectly honest. You know what? Let's continue.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high.
Of course.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
Oh, that sounds like a suicide note. Oh, dear.
People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
And did I ever figure out who came up with, this?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Let's keep the mural. It's right.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
Alright. Fair. But to be honest, the middle class is not to be blamed. It's just human nature.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
The unsolvable... Oh my god, it really is half an hour. Okay, no, I can revisit this later. Okay, bye.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Let's open the hidden compartment.
The 2 sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee, slowly...
Oh my god, I got lucky there, especially with a -1 modifier, Jesus.
the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Slide the drawer open? Well, don't mind if I do.
without resistance or sound, the 2 panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
Ooh, goody. Time to see what's inside then.
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Ticket stubs?
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
Huh. Interesting. And the card?
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored.
Apricot flavored chewing gum.
A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Tutti frutti. Alright, let's open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
Oh, so my name is Harry. Okay. That's great. I'm Harry. Harry Potter. Okay, not quite. Let's keep reading.
Your hand shakes holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Something tells me I might regret this later, but let's keep reading.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. A streetcar distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hand.
Huh? What? I'm confused. Begin what?
There is nothing. Again.
Nothing?
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
Okay.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Huh?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Yeah, that stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Oh, I thought I died. I really did. But okay, I got a thought, so I'm not dead. I really thought I died. I was like, what?
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do?
Smelled so nice, though.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Was that the X something? The...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
No. It was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Okay, in other words, you're not gonna tell me anything. Julio! Though there was something about a bow collector?
Yeah, man. What was that about?
I'm asking you. But if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. I'll just continue, lying here since none of you are telling me anything.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Ugh. Where am I?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
I haven't drank water in 2 days. Dude, how am I... Harry, how are you alive?
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I should ask you the same.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
How long was I out?
10 minutes, maybe.
Thanks. It was just some part of my past that has long since passed, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen.
He hands you the remains of your ledger.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Yes, Lieutenant. Thank you. Let's solve this case.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
The Ledger of... what? Ledger of Failure... Oh, I see. Oh, I can equip this ledger. Oh, that's cool. I can no longer interact with it. Oh, I can still interact with it. Oh, okay, that's cool, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. So it's called a Ledger of... Okay. And if I ever need Inland Empire or Empathy, I can just equip it. Oh, you know what? That's cool. And then we get a couple new things. Who put the clothes in the trash? Read the watermarks. We got a new level up. Oh, wait. Hello? No. No, get me in here. Thank you.
Guillaume Le Million.
Oh, I finished Guillaume Le Million. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a big pick.
Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
Autoerotic asphyxiation. Okay, sure. I need to look that... What does that mean? I have to look that up. +1 pain threshold. Blood oxygen is boring. All psyche... Oh, sorry. Blood oxygen is boring. All psyche learning caps raised by 1. Why, thank you. So I get that. Can I unequip this? Oh, I can forget. Oh, I see now. Okay, that makes sense. The bow collector. Okay, you know what? I'll read this later. This is a lot of things happening. It's already way past 1 hour. We are done. Okay, we are so done. And I will see you all on the next episode where we will do something. This was a very long episode. I don't know if I'm gonna cut it in half or not, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. If not cut off, then it's a long episode. Oh boy. This will be very interesting. Okay, you know what? No. Don't you dare. No. Go back inside, please. I do not want to hear this music that is going to get a copyright strike. Not strike. I keep saying strike. It's not. A copyright, warning label on it. So, let us not listen to that. Later, everyone. Oh, it's open! Yeah, we're going to be here next, then, for sure. Later.